Even if you're not a graphic designer, you've probably heard of a couple of the most widely used fonts: Helvetica, Times New Roman, Futura, etc. But there is one thing that most everyone, designers and non-designers alike, can agree on. Comic Sans sucks. The humble typeface has become infamous as the poster child for bad graphic design, even sparking an online campaign to ban it altogether. But how did Comic Sans come to be so universally loathed? And is there any hope to redeem this font? In 1994, Vincent Conair was working on Microsoft Bob, a Windows tutorial program featuring a cartoon dog named Rover who provided tips for new users, like the slightly less infuriating cousin of Clippy. Originally, Rover's speech bubbles were all written in Times New Roman, which, according to Conair, didn't feel right for a friendly cartoon dog. He created a new font inspired by the text in old Batman comics, and Comic Sans, originally called Comic Book, was born. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be ready in time for the release of Microsoft Bob, and the whole font was almost scrapped. But several months later, Comic Sans would get a second chance at life on the list of user fonts available on Windows 95, and the rest is history. However, when Comic Sans made its world debut, it didn't take long for people to get carried away. There was no escaping the reign of Comic Sans. Designers everywhere quickly began renouncing the font, with David and Holly Combs even launching an entire website dedicated to campaigning for its removal called BanComicSans.com. It wasn't long before Comic Sans was reduced to a punchline: the black sheep of fonts. Countless designers throughout the years have tried to articulate exactly what's wrong with Comic Sans, citing poor kerning, awkward stroke weights, or just plain ugliness. But when it comes down to it, the hatred for Comic Sans stems not so much from the font itself, but rather from its overdone and often inappropriate usage. So what is Comic Sans good for, anyway? As it turns out, the visual quirks of Comic Sans actually make it easier to read for people with dyslexia and vision issues. Both the British Dyslexia Association and the Dyslexia Association of Ireland have officially endorsed Comic Sans as a dyslexia-friendly font. And even its initial hatred has waned into something that feels more like laughing with Comic Sans rather than at it. Its online infamy has spawned a genre of memes that double down on its notoriously inappropriate usage and sometimes even celebrate it. In conclusion, Comic Sans, like all other fonts, has its place. It's found a home in preschool classrooms and meme culture alike, and it can even help make design more accessible. But the next time you're redesigning the company newsletter or you're put in charge of the signage for Grandma's funeral, you may want to consider a different font.